All right, we're back with another edition of the Who You Got podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Again, please follow us on X at Who You Got 33. Hit that like and subscribe button after watching or listening, all the things. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or hey, you know what, Jimmy? If they want to come on the show and debate us, hit us up at whoyougot33@gmail.com. We have a few questions from last week's episode that we'll get to later in the show. But we'll start like we do with every show. We'll throw it to Jimmy for a little UFC. Before he goes, I am going to say Jimmy hit me up on Saturday with his picks. His moneyline parlay, unfortunately, was doomed. I don't know if you followed Jimmy, but I was following it actually for once. And the second leg, not King Green, the other one, all the money in the last 30 minutes started coming in on his opponent. And I was just like, oh no, this is going to blow up, and sure did. But what I did, and I wanted to thank you on the show, I didn't tell you this before the show or earlier in the week. Thank you for the long shot, because when you sent me the plus 900, I said in typical Jimmy fashion, somehow, some way, this won't be a knockout, but it will win at plus 380. So I just bet the 380. So thank you for that. That was a nice hit on Saturday night for me. So take it away.
The biggest hit that I had, if you paid attention to the show, was I said put 3 units on Josh Van, and that hit. So if you
I played him big too. So well
if
done.
you followed that happened. The Sean Brady fight that you're alluding to, they actually made phone calls about that line moving to the fighters.
Tremendous. It almost went off.
Yeah.
The other guy almost went off a favorite. He went off plus 105.
Yeah. So what they thought that maybe something slipped out, that Brady had an injury or there was an issue. So, and he obviously didn't. So Brady was on a 2-fight losing streak. Buckley hadn't fought in a year, and he got beat, but he got beat by Usman, and he lasted the fight. And Usman was a really great champion for a number of years. Brady, I thought, was maybe on the downside. Sean Brady dominated. He won 30-25 on one card. He just absolutely dominated Buckley. Like the chatter I'm hearing, I was listening to Brandon Schaub talk about it, and like you go back out of the fight, and you're like, what with your camp? And you're like, what do we do? Right. It wasn't close. And the commentators were talking about it on the show in live time. Like, this has never happened to this guy in his life. Like, he's never been dominated by a person in his life. He's always been big. He's always been tough. He's always been fast. He's been a fighter. Like, this is a new thing for him. But that was pretty wild. The Josh Van fight was the fight of the night, in my opinion. It was an unbelievable fight. Taro looked awesome, took him down like we thought he could, but Josh Van survived. And Josh Van's boxing is just outrageous. This guy's only been fighting for 5 years. He's 24 years old. We called it a year ago that 2 fights before his title fight, this guy's going to get a shot at the belt and he's going to be champ at some point. He is. He belt with that injury to Pantoja, where he threw Pantoja, and Pantoja kind of broke his arm or dislocated his elbow or something on the way down. So there was a little bit of a question, like, is he the real champ? Well, I think he came out and proved that he absolutely is the champ. So that was a fantastic fight. And Tara's a badass. I mean, he looked really, really good. He fought really hard, but Josh Van's hands are unbelievable. And there's not many people that have knockout power at 125. This guy does. Now, he's going to get a rematch versus Pantoja likely later this year. But Pantoja's 36 years old. So even if Josh somehow loses the belt, he's still, to me, the future of this division. And the division's getting better and better. Like you said, King Green came through, thought he would. The Volkov fight was sort of uneventful. Volkov won, but I don't think there's any real competition at heavyweight. That's the problem with the heavyweight division right now. They need an influx of talent. You don't watch Volkov and think he's got a chance against some of the other guys, and he's a huge human being. But he got stung a couple times by Cortez Acosta. But to me, it wasn't an extremely eventful fight. And then the main event, Strickland pulls off the win. It looked like Chimaev was going to do what he does. He held him down the whole first round. Strickland survived. And then it looked like he had almost like an adrenaline dump, and he couldn't get him down the rest of the fight. And this is a guy that just held down the former champ basically for 5 rounds and dominated him. And he couldn't get it done. He couldn't. And Strickland, the fight could have gone either way. It was a split decision. I was sort of surprised Sean won, only because the classic thing, like we learned growing up, to be the champ, you got to really beat the champ. They're going to give the close fight to the current champ.
Shout out Ric Flair.
Yeah, but Strickland. I mean, Strickland won. Let me pull up the stats here. I mean, he had 123 significant strikes to Hamzat's 98. Hamzat did have 7 minutes of control. Sean had 3 minutes of control. But I mean, good for Sean. He looked good.
Explain how they come up with that stat. for people who don't follow UFC like as close as you do. What is
Yeah,
the typical
it's
step?
basically holding him on the ground, right? How long you take him down and you control him on the ground. So
Okay.
octagon control is something that they theoretically grade the fight on. That's just who's walking the other person down. You have them up against the fence, but it's not an official stat. Actual control is I took you to the ground. I got a takedown because they score points for takedowns.
Yep.
Yeah, I got you to the ground and I was on top. I was in top position holding you down. So for the better part of a round and a half over the course of the fight, he held him down. Most of that was in the first round. But Strickland was on top of him too. Like I said, he had a few minutes of control, and I mean he got it done. I don't know that we'll see a rematch. Hamzat alluded to it via tweets the next day, but they've been also talking about him moving to 205. His plan was to move up to 205. So now that he lost the belt, does he want to stay there? It was his first loss. He was 15-0. I don't know, but yeah, that's the recap of the fights. And from a betting standpoint, if you followed us, you won because I said put a half a unit on the 900, and I put 3 full units on Josh Van to win. So hopefully you did that. And I think he gets Pantoja in this next fight. I mean, people are up and down about it, but I think there's a really good chance it happens. Yeah, man. So really a really solid card, and nothing really to talk about next week. Arnold Allen's fighting the following week. Just to give you the rundown, Song Yadong's fighting Davison Figueiredo, sort of. After that, Bilal Muhammad's fighting Gabriel Bonfim. That'll be good. And Brandon Allen's fighting on that card as well. A couple other good fights down the board. Bryce Mitchell's trying to make his case now that he's dropped weight classes down to 135. But the real thing, we'll talk about a couple of these as the weeks go on. The next big event is Freedom 250 to Poirier Gaethje.
Okay.
So that's the one. That's June 14th. That's the White House. It's Alex Bejeda versus Cyril Gahn. O'Malley's on this card. Josh Hockett, who's making news. If you haven't saw the press conference, go watch it. He's like a WWE
Wait, what
character.
is that card?
That's June 14th.
What happened on July 4th in the White House then? Didn't happen?
It's going to be June 14th at the White House.
I thought the whole thing was they were going to do this on July 4th.
No, it's June 14th. Don't ask me why. I'll do some research. But that's when it is. But every fight on the card is good. Diego Lopez is the opening match for Steve Garcia. It's unbelievable. Bo Nickel is fighting right after that. You got Mauricio Huffy, who famously wheel kicked King Green, is fighting Michael Chandler. And Michael Chandler likes to throw fists. Ruffy's going to fuck him up. Just mark my words. Hockett, Derek Lewis. Josh Hockett is talking so much trash. He got on this card because of his last performance. Sean O'Malley fighting Zahavi, Alex Bejeda, Cyril Gahn, and Ilia Topuria, Justin Gaethje. It's an unbelievable card. It's also on a Sunday night, randomly. So, kind of interesting.
So, yeah, this is weird because June 14th on a Sunday night, if the NBA Finals are anywhere near competitive, you're going to have an NBA game most likely on that.
Yeah, it's going to be a thing. But it's a hell of a card. We'll talk more about it as it approaches.
All right, since we're not really making any picks, let's just get the UFC fighting world out of the way right now at the top of the show. Explain to me a little bit the difference between UFC and this MVP shit and the Rousey fight. And who the hell is staying up to 2:15 in the morning to watch Ronda Rousey fight these days? Like, where is this fight? What is happening? Fill me in a little bit.
I mean, I have no idea. Look, there's a lot of really, if you're a diehard fight fan, there's a lot of other PFL is out there. There's a bunch of other ones that I can't even name anymore. But there's a lot of other good fighting organizations out there. The problem is, like most people, I have a life to live, and I can only consume so many sporting events. So I'm already watching the NBA. We're following the football offseason, trying to keep up with baseball, and I'm watching the UFC events. I don't, these guys talk about it. These fighters, when they get on podcasts, what you should be checking out. I'm like, yeah, that's fantastic. Like, I don't have time to watch 6 different events every single week, right? But the Ronda Rousey things, I mean, I don't know.
Where's the fight? It's the 2:15 Sunday morning on Netflix. Who the fuck is staying up for this?
Is it?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what they have it listed at on DraftKings. At 2:15 start time. There's a 1:15 fight in front of it, so this must be the times. 1:45. The preliminary start at 9:15.
I mean, it's in LA. It doesn't seem. Yeah, I mean, it starts.
All right,
the
so
main
they're
card.
doing it.
The main card starts at 9, so I can't imagine it's going to be that late. Maybe, but it seems crazy.
9 o'clock our time.
It starts at 9 o'clock our time, but what I'm saying is like, here, let's look at the card real quick. The main card only has 5 fights. So I think that it'll probably go off at 11:30 or midnight, like a lot of the main events do. I don't think it'll be 2 in the morning. But here's what they've got going on this card. So Junior Dos Santos, who was one of the greats, way past his prime. It's sad to see him fighting, but he was a great heavyweight champ, in my opinion. Francis Ngannou is fighting on this. Ngannou is the legit. It's the one person the UFC doesn't have that's the best. Francis Ngannou is the best heavyweight in the world, and if he was in the UFC, he'd still be the champ. He left for money, and he hasn't come back. And then you get Nate Diaz, Mike Perry. Mike Perry's the guy that fired his entire corner and had his wife corner in one fight. He's a nutcase, and Nate Diaz is one of my favorite fighters. The Ronda Rousey fight, to me, is just the gimmick to get everybody to watch. I mean, I don't know. I hope she comes out and looks good, but
you gotta take the other one. You gotta take the plus 400.
Yeah.
But no, look, I guess the timing makes sense. If it starts 9 o'clock our time, because it's 6 o'clock in LA, and there's 8 fights before the Rousey fight, then it probably won't go till 2 a.m. 11 o'clock.
Well, it says the main card starts at 9, and there's only 5 fights on the main card.
That's LA time, right?
No, yeah. It shouldn't be.
The preliminary is 9:15, Saturday, May 16th, our time. If you go on DraftKings,
that's insane.
Yeah, you're looking at the local times.
That's nuts if that's the case.
So I mean, like I said, I don't know who's staying up to watch it.
But yeah, that's we'll catch it we'll catch it the next day.
Yeah, I'll catch it by looking on my phone, seeing who won. I'll give a pick when we get to our picks at the end of the show, but from a horse standpoint, it's kind of a deflating week at the Preakness. The story here is none of the top horses are running. It's actually crazy that no one's coming out this time. At least last year, we had a couple big time horses run, and this year it's literally none of the top horses from the Derby are running the Preakness. Most of them are not. Great White's back. That's a Kentucky Derby horse, but Great White is the size of a Great White, so I still don't understand how he's a racehorse. He looks like a Clydesdale out there, but he's good. He's a great horse, but he's too big for me. I can't see how he wins races like this. So I think, again, I said this on our last show, I think they're going to have to really, really, really look at this racing calendar and just make the adjustments. And, all right, it's too bad for the traditionalists. They need to get over it. But I think what's happening and a lot of the, casual fans probably don't even realize this. I think the reason this is happening is because the Belmont Stakes is 1.25 miles at Saratoga.
Okay.
So maybe they're just trying to steal 2 races at the distance that horse wants to go. I'll be interested.
What is it? Because I'm not aware. I'm sure some people. What is it?
The Belmont Stakes traditionally is 1.5 miles. So you go 1.25 miles at the Derby, 1 mile and 3/16 at the Preakness, 1.5 miles at the Belmont. But because it's at Toga and not Big Sandy in Belmont, they don't run the 1.5 miles. They go 1.25 miles, 1 mile and 3/16 back to 1.25 miles. So I think maybe a lot of these trainers are saying, hey, we don't get the rest. We don't want to run them back in 2 weeks. We might as well just line up for the 5 weeks and try to win again at 1.25 miles. We know we already won, or we know we were competitive in this field. Let's run our race again and see if we can steal a Triple Crown win. Because again, the Derby is the diamond, right? That's the crown jewel. But if you can win any of the Preakness, maybe not so much anymore. Sorry, Preakness. But if you can win the Belmont Stakes, that horse is going to sell for big, big, big time money and become a big time stud fee. So
how much longer do we have at Saratoga? What is it? 1 more year?
1 more year. It was only supposed to be 2 years there, but construction, as you know, out where we live, those unions are going to do what they do. So 2 years became 3 years real quick. So Belmont will be open next year, and then I think I'll look it up. I'll tell you off air, but I think it's in 2 years. I think it's either 28 or 29. We're going to have the Breeders' Cup out here at the new Belmont. And I can tell you, we don't have the technology to do a show live from there unless we get some real subscribers, but we will be going to it.
Sounds awesome.
That is a bucket list. It only costs a couple $100 to get in.
Awesome.
We will be there both days. So make those plans now.
Sounds like fun. Hey, by the way, another random question that I couldn't answer that somebody asked me. How hard is it to get tickets to the Derby? Is it hard or is it just expensive?
Not if you're going to go to the you can get into the infield probably.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 140, was there 150,000 this year? You can get into the infield. I mean, it's going to cost you a few $100 to get into the grandstands. Now you're talking big money.
So you can get them. It's just super expensive.
Yeah, there's a ticket there. I believe that was $3 million. It's for the ultimate experience. I forget what the box is called, but yeah, it's a thing.
I mean, even the infield would be a good time, would it not? Just to go experience the Derby for the weekend.
Sure. I mean, if I was going to do one, I would do like I'm telling you, I would do Breeders' Cup Day at Belmont, and you're not going to sit in the enclosed seats probably, but for $150, you'll get a grandstand seat most likely.
All right.
You're not going to have any of the bells and whistles.
That's okay.
You can get tickets to the Travers Stakes Day is a great day for I think it's like $500 or $600. You can kind of get inside in one of those areas where it's air conditioning. You kind of have your own betting windows. It's not one where the food and drink is included. Those are a few grand.
Let's go to the Haskell.
It's a great day too. I mean, the problem with the Haskell Stakes is normally the field is just so depleted. It's a 5 or 6 horse field. If the Haskell was a 10 horse field, I'd tell you, oh my God, yeah, it's a great day. That's obviously Monmouth's biggest day of racing.
Yeah, they got.
Right, that's it from the horse world. PGA, we got the championship. We're going to give our picks. Championship tees off tomorrow morning. Big stories here, I think, is on this course, you got to know how to putt. You have to know how to putt, or you're not going to win. And Rory just kind of came out and said, hey, look, it's a short course. I think the long hitters are going to basically grip it and rip it, and we'll figure it out from where the ball lands. Probably not what the PGA wanted to hear, Rory.
I like the honesty.
Me too.
Why not?
And then we kind of go back to kind of what we've been talking about on the show the last few weeks. It just seems like it's all over but the shouting for Liv, man.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. I mean, who's going to pick up that tab?
Nobody. But I do give Rory credit for him basically saying, look, we're not going to look at what happened in the past. Let's not dwell on it. Let's not be butthurt about it. If they are the best players, I want them on this tour.
Yeah, good.
And that's the stance you should take. If we're gonna say the PGA Tour is the best tour and it's where it's the hardest to win because the fields are the best and the deepest, well then yeah, you should not let Rahm go play on the DP. You should say, hey, we want you back on the PGA.
Absolutely, that's the competitive way to be about it. Who wants to play the second-rate players, right? Any competitor wants to play against the best.
Yeah, I think next year, maybe I'll be dead wrong. We're sitting here in, 10 months. But I think Brooks, we know, will. I think Bryson will play a full schedule on the PGA Tour next year. And I think Rahm will play his normal, 3/4 of a schedule with European dates added into because he loves playing over there. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think a lot of these other guys are going to make it back because, quite honestly, I don't know if they're good enough anymore.
A lot of them aren't. Yeah. Yeah.
Those guys aren't coming back. We're not going to see Dustin Johnson teed up over here.
No, it felt like he fell off quickly. I mean, he's still young enough that he should be. But yeah, I agree. I mean, is Phil done?
Phil's
just play the Masters every year and that's it.
Phil's going to be 56. I mean, yeah, he's not going to play on a PGA Tour. But if I guess you got to serve a 1-year suspension for the senior tour if you went to live. So maybe he'll serve that and play on the senior tour. Who knows? Here's a crazy thing. I don't think it's going to happen, but I was reading this that wouldn't it be crazy if Tiger came out, he'll be 50 and went and tried to win the senior US Open this year.
I mean, what is his status these days?
I don't know, but he could play on the senior tour. He could take a cart and all the things. So
yeah.
You never know. Don't put it past him. Don't put anything past that guy.
That's true.
All right. True. MLB, always where we go next. The best story I saw from since we talked last, did the show last, was the big dumper was a little bit in a slump. I don't know if you saw this, and he took a shower in his full uniform to try to break the slump, and it worked.
That's hilarious. I did see he was in a slump. There was a lot of chatter about the guys who played in the baseball, whatever it was. What the fuck was it called over the summer?
World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, the World Baseball Classic that weren't playing really well through the year because they didn't have a typical training, and he was he was one of them on that list. Was there anything that was correlating with the fact that they played there and didn't have a typical spring training? But I did not see that he took a shower in his uniform. What
full uniform.
That's one hell of superstition.
Broke out of the slump. Don't know where that came from, but hey, he did it. It worked. Slump over.
Yeah, so, there you go.
Well done, Dumper. All right, little standing update. I'll give you a 5 minute. Oh, not even. I'll give you 2 minutes on the Mets in a minute so I can refresh my drink. But are you in the AL East? Are the Rays for real again? I mean, is this happening with no players again?
So a week ago when we did the show, or maybe 2 weeks ago when we did the show, I would have said no because the differential we look at, it was like basically even, and they were finding ways to squeak games out. And while that shows that you're maybe a good ball club and you know how to win the close ones, I don't know that it's completely sustainable. They've jumped up to a plus 24 differential. Do I think they're going to beat the Yankees for the East title? I do not. But do I think they're going to be a wild card team? I do. And one of the reasons, like we talked about, we're now up to, I believe, 4 teams over 500 in the AL. But like they have just enough of a lead that if they are anywhere near legit, I don't see how they don't get in as a wild card. So yeah, I think we have to start looking at them as, as what they are. It's just a shame that nobody cares because they have no fans. But
I know.
It really is a shame. Tampa's a big enough area. Somebody's got to somebody root for them.
How funny would a Tampa? How many people would watch a Tampa A's? I don't even know where the A's are from anymore. So Tampa A's.
They don't either.
ALCS.
I would love to see the A's win on their last year as the A's. Aren't they playing like Sacramento or something?
I think so, but they don't even list them as Sacramento. I don't know where they're from. They're just listed as the Athletics in the standings.
I remember driving by the Oakland Coliseum going, is that a professional stadium? I flew into Oakland, had to take a car out. We drove by. I'm like, Yeah. It looks like a D2 college.
Yeah, it really does. Looks like a strong wind might blow it over, too.
It's not great. The Chargers, the old Qualcomm, why they moved was like that. You drove by and you're like,
Yeah, what am I looking at?
Yeah, that's it's not great. But yeah, I would love it. That would be something that I would tune in for. Now, I don't, obviously, baseball wants it to be New York, LA, and I fully understand why. But Tampa and the Las Vegas, Sacramento, Oakland A's, sign me up. I'd be all tuned in.
It would be.
And then you get one. So you're sure you're going to get one of them to the World Series then? Like, we're going to have some underdog to root for, right?
No. I mean, the people who are watching, that's my point. I don't know if anyone will watch. Like, I'm with you. I think there's no way this stands up. The Yankees will somehow put it all together. The Red Sox, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. The funniest part is they couldn't have played worse going into May 14th. And they're still, to your point, because everyone is so bad. They're only 3.5 games out of a wild card spot.
No, it is wild. And you're right. Nobody would watch in theory, but you'd probably still have the Dodgers on the other side. So you'll still get that crowd. But what if it wasn't? What if it was like, what if San Diego ended up being for real and making it happen?
I think we got some real teams this year in the NL that can give the Dodgers all they want in a 7-game series. I mean, the Cubbies have no pitching. Everyone's hurt. They know they've lost 3 in a row now, but they're still 27-15. I know, well, he's not here tonight so far, but I know Ryan thinks Milwaukee sucks. But all of a sudden, they're back 2.5 games out, and they have a plus 56 run differential, the best actually in the Central. The Cards are competitive. They weren't supposed to be competitive, so let's see if that holds up. But the Pirates are good, and they're 23-19. And they're a good team. Skeen's going to win the Cy Young. I'll tell you that right now. Since opening day, this guy's fucking unhittable.
No, I believe it. Yep. He had a bad opening day, played well into my hands, and then things fell apart for me, and things went well for him.
Yeah. He looks have you seen him pitch? He looks unhittable. I mean, that's the only way to say it.
Yeah. It'd be cool if he got the Berg. He got the Berg to the playoffs. I'm
going to give you 2 minutes. Give us a little NL East. What happens? Are the Braves for real? 29-13. They're a little banged up here and there. Phillies are everyone else is under 500. The Phillies made a little run. They're playing a lot better under Donnie Baseball.
Yeah.
Does someone catch the Braves?
I think it's certainly possible. You have to think the Braves are for real. They've got a plus 90 run differential. You can be a little banged up and maintain. And they've got a 9-game lead over Philadelphia and Washington. Now, Philadelphia, to your point, under Dunny baseball, starting to win some games. And that might have been a great firing because they knew they had somebody there to step in that could take the reins. They didn't have to, worry about some interim dipshit that didn't know what they were doing. It's a lot easier to fire your main guy when you've got another main guy who's proven waiting in the wings. So, and for the Philly fans, that's all they've got. Flyers get knocked out, Sixers get knocked out. They're waiting for the Eagles. So maybe. I mean, the Mets are not going to be that team. They're all of a sudden.
I can't figure them out. Like on paper, it's like, how are you this bad?
Yeah, and they show signs. They're 6-4 in the last 10. They're up and down. They put up 10. I think it was against the Rockies a week ago. They put up 10 the other night, and now they're down 2-1. Like they can't get on a streak. They've stopped the bleeding. Right, they're not getting they're not getting any farther below 500, but they dug themselves such a hole with that 12-game losing streak that they have to put a run together. They don't have to win 10 in a row, but they need to go 8-2 a couple of times, and then you could say the Mets have an outside chance. But it's going to be a lot harder, like we talked about, and they're not to win a wild card in the NL because they have all the teams over 500 playing in that league, right? So. I can't quite figure it out either. They give you a little bit of hope, like maybe this is the team we thought they were. If they were playing, roughly 500 up to this point, I would think they could make a run. I just, it was early in the season, but they dug themselves such a hole that I don't know that there's any coming back from it.
Yeah, could they sneak into a wild card possibly? But they're gonna have to rip off a couple 8-9 game winning streaks between Memorial Day and probably the 4th of July. I don't know if the Mets could ever really be true sellers, but maybe they are sellers at the end. Maybe they do unload some people. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Same with the Sox. I mean, the Red Sox might just start having a fire sale. Again, they're in a little bit better position because the AL just sucks. So they're only 3.5 games out of a wild card. So who knows what happens there? There's so much that's going to happen in the AL in the next, month or month and a half. But that National League, and again, I know you like the Dodgers, and we're going to have to see if the Padres are for real or if it's what you were saying a couple weeks ago with the Rays. Their run differential is only +1, but they have a half-game lead, and the Dodgers have dropped 4 in a row. Dodgers all of a sudden can't hit the baseball. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here over the next month or so as we get closer and closer and closer to the 4th of July, and then this starts to take shape, and we'll actually see maybe who's going to throw the towel in and start getting rid of people. I hope. This is just my hope. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I hope Trout winds up somewhere, that someone who has a chance to win, because I think the Angels are done, and maybe they'll unload him.
Yeah, and I was watching Trout, I don't know, it was probably 3 weeks ago on McAfee, and he's having a good season, and the A's don't look, and now they're right back to where they were in last place.
Yep, last place. They just suck. But he's having a decent season. I mean,
he is.
I hope he gets a shot. And then again, the funniest part here is you got to just want to cry if you're an NL Central team. Some of you, 3 of you are probably not making the playoffs. At least 2 of you are, and they're all over 500 at this point. And they all are pretty. The Reds have had a bad run, right? The Reds have had a really bad run. But I still think they're an okay team. But everybody else, plus run differential, winning record, they have something to build off of. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next month and a half. But let's move on to the NBA. We'll start with this for you. Is LeBron back next year? And if he is he a Laker?
He's definitely back next year. There's no, LeBron, I think, loves legacy, and playing more will just put more wins under his belt, more points in his pocket, the whole thing. And he can still play basketball, right? If he's willing to be the third option on your team, why wouldn't you take LeBron? Right? The problem is, I don't think he's going to leave LA, and LA doesn't have a chance.
What if they get Giannis, and it's Luka, Giannis, LeBron, and Austin Reeves? Can that win a championship?
I would think they'd probably have to get rid of Austin Reeves to get him. So you'd have to count that. But I do think that would be a good move. Now, that would give them a chance because Giannis' biggest problem is he's hurt a lot. Now, he claimed he wasn't hurt at one point in the season and he wanted to play, and they weren't playing him. But yes, I think if Giannis and Luka stayed healthy and they were on that team, and you kept some of the shooting around him, I think Marcus Smart you want back. Um, but I think you'd have to give up Austin Reeves to get him. I don't see a way around that, right? So, but yeah, I think that might be the move. That might be the move that makes them competitive. The problem is Spurs and OKC look pretty good, right? And they're not going anywhere. Now, don't wish it upon him, but could at any point Wemby get hurt because he's a stick figure? Sure, right? But yeah, that might be the only possible chance that they would have. But I think he is back for sure, and my guess is he plays for LA because I don't think he's going back to Cleveland.
Just say, what if you added him to? This is a crazy one. But what if you added him to the Pistons?
I think that'd be a good move. I think the Pistons really, they don't have, consistent shooting, right? Like they've got Duncan Robinson, but he can't get his own shot. He's got to come off a ball screen. Tobias Harris, you could argue that LeBron would be an upgrade over Harris, right? Tobias Harris has moments, but LeBron's a better defender, and he's probably still a better scorer, all around player than Tobias Harris. So maybe he fits that mold. But yeah, Detroit needs some more scoring options. They just don't have it. They've got their draft picks, they've got some capital, but I don't think he's going there. I don't think LeBron's going to Detroit.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah. But I don't think it.
If he did, where would you put them? Are they an automatic? Like this is the team to beat?
I think so. I think Detroit's one piece away from potentially being that anyway. And is LeBron that piece? It could be, especially if you kept the Duncan Robinson. If you've got LeBron, Cade, Jalen Duren underneath, and then you've got Duncan Robinson and maybe somebody else that can hit a shot. Karis LeVert had a great first half the other night, but he's streaky at best, right? You need some more consistent scoring other than them. They were done. I think it was it was an earlier game versus the Cavs, but my memory's getting blurry. It might have been a game versus the Magic, but I'm 95% sure it was the Cavs, where it was like Cade took over at the end of the game, but it was like a two-man game, him and Duren, and he was just driving and dumping it. They were doubling him, and he was dumping it off to Duren, and Duren was dunking the ball, and it was like they couldn't stop this stupid two-man game. And you're thinking to yourself, they don't have anywhere else to go. Just double Cade and switch somebody on a Jalen Duren.
Right.
There's nowhere else to go with this ball. So I know they have other good players on their team, but they're inconsistent. So maybe LeBron would, but I just think Detroit's probably also building for the future. Like they've got a young core. They've got their draft picks. They've built the team the right way. Detroit is set up to be a force in the East for the next 10 years, right? Like they're really set up. They're not a bunch of hired mercenaries. Cleveland is set up assuming they can replace Harden, but Harden's 37. That was the roll of the dice. Like, hey, we know where we get with the team with Darius Garland as constructed. Let's take a shot with this with Harden and see if we can get out of the second round.
Right.
I just I don't know. I don't know that there's some, unless he joins someone that's a true, like a San Antonio or an OKC or maybe the Knicks, right? Like someone that's a true contender right now. I don't know why he would go somewhere else other than LA.
Well, the other thing I think we're going to look into in 2027 as we look ahead in the NBA is I think the sexy pick alert is going to be the Jazz because they tanked so hard. They are not as bad as their record, and they're going to wind up with a very decent piece to add to their team out of the draft.
Yeah, could be. I don't hate that. Ace Bailey, solid rookie for him out of Rutgers. They're going to get they keep talking about the top 5 picks in this draft are fantastic. I don't know who's slotted at 5. I haven't looked at. I'm going to look it up in real time.
They're going to wind up being a sexy pick. I'll tell you right now. I don't know if they're going to be good, but they're going to wind up being a sexy pick. And the other basketball topic, I just got to ask your thoughts on this. Why does the WNBA insist on starting their season during the NBA playoffs? To me, it seems really, really dumb.
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to capitalize on the basketball fever, right?
If you're doing that, why not the first game of the NBA Finals, put it on a Sunday night and have 3 WNBA games lead into it?
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. I remember when I was young, and it's probably even happened as of recent, that TNT would just pound advertisements for whatever new dumb show they had coming out right after the NBA playoffs were over. Nobody ever watched it and or cared about it. By the way, they've got the mock draft has them taking Darren Peterson at number 2. So that would be an upgrade.
Who goes 1? The Booze?
DeBansta.
Where's Boozer? 4?
3.
3. I would take
Then
Boozer.
Then you get Caleb Wilson. What I'm looking, again, this is CBS Sports. They've got a Dave Mara going 5th, which I can't imagine he goes that high. And then Wagler from Illinois going 6th, which Brooklyn was taking a beating for tanking and ending up with the 6th pick. But if they get Keaton Wagler, that's a pretty good pick at 6. This one has Darius Acuff Jr. going 7. I mean, those are all really, really good players. Yaxel going 10 to the Bucks. Burries. I mean, you can't go wrong with anybody we just named there. So it is a pretty deep class. But yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't go Boozer. The Darren Peterson, there was a big thing that came out about him. I was reading an article the other day, and his cramping. They figured out that, he was actually he wasn't being a wimp. He was having absolute horrible cramps. They were taking him to the hospital for it. And it was because he was heavily overdosing on, they didn't say overdosing. They said he was taking extreme doses of creatine and he wasn't hydrating right. Yeah. And that's what they finally narrowed it down to. He was taking big creatine doses and it was just too much. Wasn't drinking enough water with it.
I got to tell you, I mean, moving into quickly the NHL, the only story I have in the NHL, and here we go again. It's just the Avs seem to never be able to close out a series. Ever. Especially at home. We saw it with the Stars last year. And then tonight, they have a chokehold on the Wild. Boom. 3-0 Wild. Before it was 2-0. It was 1-0 and then 2-3 before you could blink. Goal. It's like, guys, you're going home. You're the best team in the NHL. Close the series out in 5.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I saw 3-1. I thought it was over. I wasn't even paying attention tonight until you mentioned it.
I still don't think they can lose. Honestly, I don't think they can lose 3 in a row to the Wild. I think if they get their ass kicked tonight, they'll just be motivated, probably go back to Minnesota and win it in 6. And if it somehow comes back to Sunday night in Colorado, I think they'll find a way to win a Game 7 at home. They're just that good. But why even put yourself in that position? Not with this is. I told you this from the beginning. To me, this is the Stanley Cup. Minnesota is the second best team, I think.
Yeah. There's been talk about that on sports radio too. That this is it's unfortunate how the rankings and the seedings worked out because this is the series.
And the annoying part for me is if Minnesota wins tonight, I didn't do it after. I probably should have done it when they went up 3-1, but I was that confident that the Avs would close it out in 5. Minnesota holds on and wins tonight. I probably have to look at a funny little, some type of a hedger because I got so much tied into Colorado and the Knicks, and the Knicks have already won for me. So I might have to come over the top with Minnesota and a few future plays just in case. Annoying, by the way. Annoying.
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do. I agree with you, though. I don't think there's any way they're going to rattle 3 off in a row. It could happen, but I don't see that kind of a choke job. Detroit all over Cleveland, by the way, as we're doing this show. It was really close. It was really close till about 2 minutes ago.
Thank God I only could throw $20 on that prop I told you about, but Donovan Mitchell just having a terrible game.
I mean, he could explode in the second half, but I still feel good about my 4.5 with the Cavs. I'm not giving up on it.
Cunningham's up 10 points on him, 16-6. You got to lock him down. That's the game plan. If they lock down Cunningham, like they try to take him out of the game, like they did. It was a game 5, right? Yeah, 19.
4.
Game 4. What are we in? This is game 5.
We're in 5.
We're in game 5. All right, game 4. They maybe they have a chance to come back, but if Cunningham was 16 points with 8 minutes to go in the second, not a great sign for you. All right, college sports. I don't understand all the pushback from a lot of the talking heads about basketball going to 76. I mean, people are just freaking mad, Jimmy.
Yeah. Again,
why do we care so much?
Yeah, it's all playing stuff. There's going to be still 64 teams in the regular tournament. It's deciding who gets to the tournament has been extended.
It's a playing game.
Yeah, but the tournament itself is still 64 teams. So I don't. Yeah, I don't understand why people are up in arms about it. I don't hate it. Like I said at first, I'm like, oh, it's going to get watered down. Then when we talked about how it was going to work, and we're just going to get more playing games that week, going to get four games each night
Yeah.
instead of two. Like, cool. I'm
Yeah,
in
I
for it.
think for me, from a betting standpoint, it's going to change one thing for me, which I can't believe I'm saying after all of these years, probably since I was 10 doing it. I probably won't be putting in a bracket. Maybe I'll throw one in because you're going to have to pick way too many 11 or 12s, and you're not going to know who's going to be there.
So maybe it changed. Maybe we do the bracket when the 64 comes out.
Yeah, but the problem is you're not going to have time. What are you going to do at third? Everyone's just going to do one Thursday morning quickly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So for me, maybe I throw one or two in just for fun, but I'm doing the expensive ones for the big money. I probably won't do that anymore. I will just pivot myself to Survivor. I like the Survivor strategy better anyways. We really had a shot last year. We just needed the ball to bounce a different way, and we would have had a real shot because we needed Michigan.
Yeah, we were right there.
So maybe if we had a few more entries, maybe we just put all our money in that basket and we had 15 entries and a Survivor, we would have been good to go as Ryan Joel, he walks away, but as Ryan joins the second half of the show here. Welcome Ryan, as we join the second half. We're talking college sports real quick. The one that I don't understand is there's a lot of experts who don't like that college is going to expand to 24 eventually. And I think that's exactly what it needs. I don't know why people are pissed off that college football is going to go to 24.
Yeah, people like to get pissed off.
Well, I mean, it's a lie. It's talking heads. It's people in the gambling world. It's everyone seems to be in agreement, and I seem to be the only guy who thinks going to 24 in college football is what we need to do.
Talk about dropping the conference games and then going to that. That'd be great.
That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. The top 24, I think, is where the playoffs should be. I know we're going to have to put in a couple probably Cinderellas, but my God. I mean, there were teams last year that got left out, like Notre Dame. Notre Dame was good enough to win a couple games.
Yeah.
If there's a 13 seed, Notre Dame's in the playoffs. Who knows what would have happened?
Yeah, there's always going to be an argument because the 25th team is going to be pissed next time, right? But so like, there's always, it's not going to fix that completely to me. But who doesn't want more playoffs?
Well, I think the problem is the first round. Right now, the first round, there was like one projected good game, and even that wound up being a blowout last year, right? Wasn't it? Well, I can't remember what the 8-9 was last year, but I believe it was a trouncing. And then the year before, the big game was supposed to be Ohio State, Tennessee, and Ohio State crushed them and then went on to win the national championship. So, I mean, I think the people who are saying it should stay at 12, you're out of your minds. We've already proven we should probably expand. The 8 seed won it the first year, and Miami, the last team in, theoretically got to the championship game.
Yeah.
So
right.
These teams can make runs. So I think letting in 24 isn't a bad call. Now, again, do I think the 24 seed is going to win? No, I don't think the 24th best team will win. But just like college basketball, I also don't think the 14 seed's ever going to win. But can they upset a 3 every once in a while? And do we enjoy watching it? Yes, we do. Would I have enjoyed watching James Madison play a team they might have been able to beat? Yeah, probably.
Yeah. You're not going to get an argument from me. I agree with what you're saying.
Agreed.
Jimmy distracted by the hoops, obviously. So
yeah, it's I am. Cleveland's not done. They just sort of stopped bleeding. We'll see what happens from here. No, I don't disagree with it though. Like I said, I think expanding it doesn't hurt anything. I think your team has a better chance on off years of getting in. And to your point, Notre Dame could have been a team that made some real noise. Miami, the team that got in, made it all the way to the finals. You never,
2 years ago, we all sat here and said Ole Miss should have probably had a shot. They stubbed their toe a little bit and they got left out. That Ole Miss team 2 years ago could have made a run. They made one last year to the Final Four. They could have made a run 2 years ago too, but we left them out. But there's to me, when you do a playoff this way, we have the bracket and you got to earn it. There's 15 to 20 teams that can probably win this thing because teams can get hot and win, especially at these neutral sites, right? I mean, it was a lot easier when we had the BCS. You just had to play one game. Of course, the better team's going to win most of the time. And then we went to a semifinal. Yeah, you got to win 2 games. And you get 10 days of rest in between them. Of course, the better teams are going to win most of those times. Try to win 4 games in a row. That's why it's so hard to win a freaking Super Bowl.
In a physical game like football.
Yeah, with NIL and all that jazz too. With these teams, it's no longer just everybody goes to Alabama or everybody goes to, right. Like, yes, there's teams with deeper pockets, but Indiana's all of a sudden on the map, and they've got Mark Cuban back. I don't see why that would stop. So I think that with the transfer portal, with NIL, I think you're going to see more competitive games consistently, and you never know who's going to be good the following year.
All right. We got a little nugget. We are going to, I'm just telling your boys, both of you, this right now. Next Wednesday, we are going to spend a lot of time on this because tomorrow's one of my favorite days of the year. The full schedule will be released tomorrow. We got a few nuggets tonight. They released the international games, and they released something that I didn't know was coming. Maybe other people did. I think this was a huge surprise for a lot of people. They said FU NBA on Christmas Day. They say FU and every other thing they can do. And now they said FU on Wednesday for all the college basketball preseason tournaments. We're going to have a Wednesday night game. The inaugural Thanksgiving Eve game on a Wednesday. Packers-Rams. Jimmy, are we happy we got another game? Now we get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday?
So I don't hate the Wednesday night game.
I love it.
But I don't. I actually like it. Night before Thanksgiving. But I don't like the Black Friday game.
Yeah, I mean, I hate the Black Friday game. I think it's awful.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
I should say it this way. I don't like the time slot. If you put the Black Friday game at 8 p.m. at night, I'd be okay with it. But to have it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, what are we doing at 3 o'clock?
Yeah, like even we're in a business where we're working, but if we weren't, like the next day at 3 o'clock, let's say you don't work in a retail environment and you're traveling, and are you just sitting around doing nothing the next day and then the next day and then the next day?
Right.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
I hate the time slot.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the beginning of the season when they would do the double header on Monday night. We need one great Monday night game. I don't need a good Monday night game and then a shitty West Coast Monday night game where nobody cares about. I don't love the watered downness of it all. I like Monday night. I like Sunday. I've come around to the Thursday night game, but yeah, it's too much. It's too much.
It is. Go ahead.
Can I have a quick segue? For those of you who watch and listen to Greg's jokes about the kill room and the bunny, these 3 young ladies that just walked downstairs there, I'm not related to them. Everything's fine. They live here. So don't worry.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
I was nervous with the half-naked
eyes
teenagers.
were telling me there's people in the background. Ryan, that's
people in the background running around, looked like they didn't have pants on, but we're gonna.
If you had a kill room, we saw 3 hostages. Would you be like, yeah, or would you be like, no, they're my family. It's fine. Yeah.
I mean, listen, debate it
all
you
if you run by again, blink twice. I mean, Jimmy and I will send the services out there for you.
Thank you. Yeah. But my opinion on that is like that Friday game's crazy. Like there's other things the world's worried about, like there's just so many other things. But I love the 3 games on Thanksgiving, obviously, in that. Are there 4 now? Were there 4 last year? Do 3. I remember that?
No, 3.
3.
Was Christmas 3 too then? Was that an ad?
Yeah, Christmas was 3 too.
Okay, that was an ad.
Me and Jimmy go back and forth. We fight about the Thursday night. I love the Thanksgiving night game. Jimmy can live without it.
Well, yeah, because he's eating all his barbecue. He's been up since 4 in the morning.
Hey, if the guy tired,
we all have to work in the morning. It's a big day.
There's nothing better than having that second round of food and dessert and falling asleep listening to the second half of that night game, waking back up, seeing what happened, and then going to bed.
Yeah, the smart thing about the night game, if there was...
You know what? Before you even give your fucking point, we need a night game. What happens if we lose on the Cowboys game? What are we going to go double or nothing on?
Well, that's my point. There were many years where the Cowboys and the Lions weren't great, and so they get an opportunity to give you a good game at night. Now, the Cowboys are entertaining these days, and the Lions have been good. So,
let me give you a little history lesson. You got your notepad there for you? You can write this down. The NFL did it once again when they put the Thursday night game in, because the Thursday night tradition was the Egg Bowl, and the Egg Bowl is gone now. They don't play on Thursday night anymore. It used to be Mississippi State every Thanksgiving night, and then the NFL said, why are we going to give ESPN the ratings? We'll take them.
Awesome.
That's why we got the night game. Here's the international games. We already talked about this one because we knew it was coming. Poor Niners got to go to Melbourne, play the Rams. That is week
Other
1,
side of the world.
September 10th, and this will just make Jimmy even more mad. Not only is it in Australia, on Friday night, you get to watch it on Netflix. So have fun with that. The other one that was announced, this is in Rio de Janeiro. We got the Ravens and Cowboys, September 27th, 4:25, and that you can watch on CBS. So we appreciate you there, CBS. NFL Network gets where Tottenham plays. They get the Colts and the Commanders, week 4. Now, I'm a big fan. I don't know either of your takes, and I'll give you each 30 seconds to tell me what you think of it. I love the 9:30. I love waking up and having a 9:30 game. I don't know if you hate it. I love it. I love getting my day off with a bet at 9:30. That's why I bet the Premier League.
Only watch it if it's a team I care about. Otherwise, I'd rather watch. If it's like just a shitty game or a couple teams I don't care about, I might bet it. But I still like watching Count. There's something about when Countdown kicks on at 10 a.m. and I'm got breakfast going and it's a whole setup. Like that's my Sunday ritual. So if it's a team I care about, I will watch the game instead. If it's not, I'll bet it. I'll bounce back and forth on commercial breaks, but I'll still watch Countdown.
I like how. Oh, go ahead, Ryan. What do you think of the 9:30?
Well, we've talked about it before. Like 3 games is a lot, and 4 games is a lot. Particularly when there's a couple slots where you really have no skin in the game. And I don't mean gambling. I just mean like a team you really enjoy watching. And frankly, like it's the one time I wake up and it's like very routine. I watch one of my gold shows, the frozen one or the non-frozen one, and then I put on the EPL. And that's like my wake up routine on Saturday mornings. 8:30, something like that. So. To me, it's like a little bit. It takes away a little my variety on my Saturday, and it's a little harder to make an excuse to watch 4 straight games in a row as well.
Good news is they don't play on Saturdays, so you're good on Saturdays. But Sundays,
sorry, my bad. You're right. Wrong thing. Sorry, I was thinking about Saturday. I was thinking about that whole point the whole time too, and I'm too sober for this. What is happening? Well, thanks for letting me share.
Where's the good news?
Get through the whole thought.
Weeks 4, 5, 6, 7, you're going to get a 9:30 game, and then it goes to week 9. So. We got another one. They run it right back at Tottenham, and they get the Eagles-Jags. Obviously, the Jags have to play.
Jags.
Then we're going to go Texans-Jags the next week at London. So the Jags get the back-to-back London games because for some reason they become London's team. Then we go to Paris for Steelers-Saints. The problem with these games is none really blow you away. Then we go to Madrid for Bengals-Falcons week 9. Week 10. So here's your first game where I'm tuning in at 9:30, and I know the guy all the way to the left of my screen is going to be tuning in, obviously, for obvious reasons. But this one's in Germany, and we get Patriots-Lions. That's a game I want to watch.
That's a good game.
Reportedly, Seahawks-Patriots open the season too, which is usually pretty traditional. Not internationally, but that was out there too.
And then Mexico City, I guess this is the third. What's November 22nd? Someone get a calendar out. Is November 22nd a Thursday night?
Oh, yeah, in 2 seconds.
So we got an 8:20 start in Mexico City. We get the poor Niners. They go to Australia. They come to Mexico.
It is a Saturday, November 22nd.
Sunday night football. We have a Sunday night football game in Mexico City. We get Vikings-Niners. And that rounds out the international schedule that's been released.
Right.
For me, if I was grading these games, I give it about a C. The only one that jumps off the page for me is Patriots-Lions. I'll be up ready for that game at 9:30.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Get your Bloody Marys ready. We'll be watching that one.
Unless I'm missing it, it's not even any divisional games. It's not any big rival games of some other nature. Like, it's odd. It's an odd
They don't do divisional.
It's a road game for both of them, right?
They normally won't do divisional
Okay.
overseas. The only one is the Niners-Rams, the opening game. But normally they won't do that. Now, no, that's the only one. I thought I found another one.
Because don't they count as a road game for both teams?
Someone has designated the home team, so you lose a home game.
So that's bad. But if you were a divisional game, to your point, like you want to see your rival at home every year.
The only one is week 1 because it's week 1 because it's Australia because it's special. You get Niners-Rams. So I don't know who's the designated home team, but one of them doesn't obviously get to play at home now against the Rams or Niners. So one of them's going to have a game on their field. on the rematch, one of them doesn't. So that to me, I think sucks. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. But for me, I got to see what happens next week. So far, nothing overwhelming here. I can't wait to see the Thursday slate. Now that we get Rams, Packers, Thanksgiving Eve. They already gave us one great game because we know both those teams are going to be good. What are they going to give us on Thanksgiving? Who are the Lions going to get? Who are the Cowboys going to get? And then who is going to be that 8:20 game? If I'm guessing, what I'd like to see, God, throw us Bills in that 8:20 spot on Thanksgiving night and give them someone. Give them the Bengals.
Ooh, good one. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. You'd love to see that. Stop the press.
Well, you probably wouldn't, but I mean, I would.
I would like to see it too. It's a great game. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you keep bashing Burrow on this show, so I didn't know.
I like Burrow. You just love Burrow. He's your guy.
I mean, you give him a defense. This guy wins Super Bowls. All right. We kind of gave this out already, but the only even thing for fighting for UFC and anything that I would even look at this week is I'd fade Rousey and just take the plus 400 and see if the fix is in. I got nothing else for you, and neither does Jimmy. All right.
I don't. I mean, look, I like Nate Diaz to win the fight. He's at plus 180 versus Mike Perry, so I'll give you that. You can't bet the Ngannou fight at minus 1450, so that's off the table. And Junior Dos Santos, as much as I want to root for him, he's just too old. I don't want to see him fight.
How old is he?
He is in his 40s. I don't know exactly how old, but he's in his mid 40s. But I never count Nate Diaz out. Mike Perry's a crazy guy and can knock you out, but Nate Diaz doesn't get knocked out. He doesn't get finished. He just keeps coming and he keeps talking shit the whole time. Mike Perry's a basket case. Nate Diaz was the way better fighter in their prime.
Oh yeah.
So I'll give you Nate Diaz plus 180. Put a unit on him.
Here's what I'm going to give you reluctantly. I told you the Preakness this year. It's like, sorry, Ryan, out there at Laurel Park in Maryland, but it's like we might as well have a funeral for this leg of the Triple Crown. It's so bad. I'm going to make a play. I'll bet the card. I do like the card because the card is special. It's a lot of these horses are Maryland horses. It's a lot of state bred stuff, which is nice to see. So Maryland gets a nice day of racing, and a lot of those races are Maryland bred horses. So in the Preakness, though, I'm going to go the 9 Iron Honor as one, and then I'm just going to make a bet because I like the name. I'm betting the 7, the Hell We Did. Give me that. So
I like it.
I like the 7. I like that. We got Luis Saez on him, so you got a good jock. 15-1 is the morning line, so the Hell We Did is going to be in a lot of bets for me, and then I'll go Iron Honor on top, the 9 horse. Those are my 2 Preakness plays. I'll have much more for you when we get to the Belmont Stakes, so we'll have a real day of racing again. But I hope we fix this for next year because this is getting absolutely absurd with how the Preakness is treated. All right, we had a couple emails. One we kind of just addressed, but it just said, do you guys like what the NFL's doing around the holidays with how they are flanking the holidays with games? Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, this, that, Thanksgiving Eve now, Thanksgiving Day, Black Friday. My answer is yes. The only thing I fear sometimes is if we stretch out the weeks and have a bunch of standalone games. I know a lot of people hate the 1 o'clock slate. They think 8, 9, 10, 11 games at 1 o'clock sometimes, is 10 games, whatever it is way too many. I agree, but I like having that 6, 7, 8 at 1 o'clock because I am a big fan of watching Red Zone and getting that witching hour.
I love the Octobox. I couldn't agree more on that. I think it waters it down when we get too many games. I like the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving because that's a great night wherever you are. You're at family's house, you're staying the night, you're at home waiting for the next morning. Gives you something to do to relax. I don't like the Black Friday game. Christmas Day, I could take or leave because I've got stuff. I'm generally on TV.
That's Jimmy's hard on for the NBA coming out. I would much rather watch 3 NFL games than 5 terrible NBA games.
I don't watch NBA on Christmas Day religiously either. It's not really a sports day for me.
I can do without the fucking Knicks at noon every Christmas Day. I gotta suffer through that.
The best game last year of all of them was the late game, the Denver game late, if we recall. But I don't care about the football on Christmas Day. It's a day I turn everything off. So I understand why people would like it. I'm not making an argument against it,
All right.
but I don't really care.
Can I ask a question? Because you've said on this show many a times that you're an atheist. Why do you turn it off on Christmas? Why do you shut it down on Christmas Day? You celebrating Jesus' birthday? I mean, what's happening here?
Hey, listen, Jesus has risen. That's Easter.
I figured you'd be that's Easter, but I figured you'd be the first guy sitting in front of the TV on Christmas Day because you're not celebrating anything religious.
No. But like, our work is closed. Nobody's bothering me. It's just it's like a day
more
where
reason to gamble and watch football and basketball.
Yeah. I look, you're not wrong. It's never been a day that I hyper associate with
Throw
sports.
some Legos at the kids and start gambling. What's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Christmas is great.
Look,
Jimmy's crazy. With little kids, I get it. You got to kind of, I mean, it's a 4-hour process. It's just ridiculous how much stuff they get from all the people. You're cooking, you're doing all that stuff. But I'm at the point now where that doesn't matter anymore. So it's like an hour and a half process. We're through it. But to your question about like spreading out the games, I like the 1 o'clock. It's what a dynamic, amazing, like 4 hours it is. It's fun. There's always a couple games that go to late. It's great. The bets are everywhere. And maybe if on a Wednesday night they start Wednesday night football or something, maybe I'm 10% less, but I'm still pretty likely to turn it on. There's only 16 or 17 games nowadays for these. This is 18 yet. Jesus, 17 games for these teams. Like I'm only 10% less likely.
Yep. All right. This one I'll answer quickly. I don't think I'm going to just bet this at minus 1 gazillion that Ryan won't have a take on this. I'll see if Jimmy does at this point, but I'm going to tell you Jimmy's probably minus 5,000. He doesn't. The question was, is there any fantasy player rookies, any rookies in fantasy we should be starting to target as we get ready and move closer and closer and closer to camps and drafts and all that we should have on our boards? I will tell you at this point in time, the only thing you can start looking into is the wide receivers drafted in the first round. Other than that, I'm going to tell you no. I don't trust the running back out of Notre Dame yet. We got to see what he looks like in preseason. It's not like years in the past. There's no rookie quarterback you're going to trust here. There's no rookie, for me, there's no rookie tight end I'm going to target, even the one that was drafted in the first round. For me, the answer is no. I got to see how preseason plays out, and maybe I make some pivots in my later drafts if someone catches a lot of steam and I want to get a couple shares of them. Other than that, I'm fading all rookies. Jimmy?
Before you mentioned it, I depending on where you're drafting, if you've got a 12 or 14 man league and you're at the end of the first round and you want to take a flyer on Love, I depending on what's off the board already, right? I could
How'd that work out with Genty last year?
Not bad, but I'm the one that said it could go wrong. But it doesn't always go wrong, right? So but he's the only person that I can say that you could potentially target because he's probably gonna get a lot of carries and he's a stud. So he's the only one that I could say potentially. Now the receivers, and I don't have the list in front of me, because I didn't know this question was coming. But I think if you have a rookie receiver on a team where you really trust the quarterback, it's not a bad play. But I'm not going to take one of the Browns rookie receivers.
No, and that's kind of what I'm saying. Right. You want to target the receivers, fine. But for me, look, I'll bring it up real quick. Ryan, anything on this?
Yeah. Who's the best receiver that was drafted in the first 2 rounds, or who has the best quarterback of receivers drafted in the first 2 rounds?
It says this guy Carnell Tate for Cam Ward, and he needs a weapon. So he's a big dude.
Yeah,
maybe that's a spot. But again,
Tate's ranked 63rd out of all the receivers.
That's what I'm saying. It's a real risk because you have so many proven people ahead of him.
And Love going to Arizona, and the Terminator's pretty much done at this point, right? From injuries and everything.
Yeah, he had a pretty bad injury last year, I would think.
If you look at, for me, and this is just the rankings of the running backs, the ones who flank Love are Brown from Cincinnati. I'm taking Brown all day. Henry, I'm going to roll with Henry until Henry's not Henry anymore. I'll still go with Josh Jacobs because the Packers are going to score a bunch of points. There's no more disrespected fantasy player than Kerryon Williams, and he's also flanking them. The ones that surround Love for me, I'm going to go with. And that's just where I'm at right now. But again, we could be sitting here doing our show last week of August, and I could be 100% in agreement with what Jimmy said. I'll pretend like I said it the whole time, and I'll just say, no, you got to draft Love. He looks great in camp. He's the best. I've been telling you this since May. So That's why we can do this when there's only 135 of you subscribed to the channel. If there was 1,300 and 13,000, I should say, then I couldn't do that.
Just to
But I'm gonna do that
clarify,
now.
you said since May 14th, tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Since May 14th, I've been telling you. All right, last question we got. What you're like? I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
I won't even reference who wrote this in. One of our normal listeners, Jimmy, so you can guess who. I don't think you're going to get a round 2 fight. I'll give you my take. Yes, for the second, not even second. I'm lying. For how old am I? I'm going to be 45 Friday. So for the 45th year in a row, yes, the NHL playoffs are better than the NBA playoffs. And the reason I'm going to tell you it once again is because as intriguing as the NBA playoffs have been, we haven't had a bunch of great games go down to the wire. And once again, in the NHL, we had a bunch of overtime games, a bunch of one-goal games, a bunch of games that are within a goal with a couple minutes to go. They pull the goalie, maybe they get a couple empty netters. But there is a lot more excitement at the end of the hockey than there has been at the basketball. So once again, yes, for me, you're going to get the NHL. I will say the NBA playoffs have been compelling with the Celtics going down, with all the injuries that have happened, so good players aren't playing, and now a team has a chance. I will say there's been a lot of intrigue in the NBA, and I've kept a solid eye on it. But if you're asking me what I prefer, once again, it's going to be the NHL because I can turn it on in the third period and normally see a game within a goal or two, and we're going to have some kind of drama. Go ahead, Jimmy. Tell us why the NBA's king.
No, look, this is just a matter of opinion at this point. The game of hockey leans itself towards being closer games at the end. However, I will say that we did call that the Eastern Conference would be way more compelling. Most people look at the West and say, wow, it's so deep. These are going to be great games. We said the East was going to be. Detroit went to 7 against Orlando. They were down 3-1. They made the comeback. Boston loses. We think Philly's got a chance only to see the Knicks sweep them. Like, there's been a little bit of everything. The most boring series has been the ones that OKC has played in where they've blown them away. So they're either just that good or their competition has been just that bad.
I knew you'd. I respect what you're saying. From a series length standpoint, I agree with you. The NBA has been intriguing, but again, how many games have you sat there with like 5 minutes to go? Like, wow, I'm really locked in. It's been a handful.
That's a fair point.
The Knicks have been. The funny part is your team has made the Eastern Conference not as good as we thought it would be because they're just destroying people.
Yeah, and maybe that's voted by because, to not be stressed out has been fantastic. And after Game 3 of the first round, it's just been a bloodbath. The one game that was competitive, the Knicks still won, and I was never extremely worried. They were losing in the fourth quarter. They came back and won the game, and I was like, hey, that's good for them. They need to learn how to win a close game, and then they just came and blew them away the next couple. So I love it. I don't think the Knicks are going to continue to do that. I think whoever they face next round, it's going to be much more of a war. But it's been, unbelievable to see the turnaround from down 2-1. And Atlanta only won those games by a point each, right? But they were those. So the two competitive games that happened didn't go my way. But to see them make adjustments and just put the ball in Cat's hands, different people step up, playing a much deeper bench. Clarkson's getting in the game. Shamit has been playing pretty well. They've just got a lot happening right now. It's great for me because the Knicks, they look good. Everybody, the only thing that makes me nervous is people are so confident that they're going to get to the finals at this point. I'm like, Jimmy, let's pump the brakes.
Jimmy, stop. That's just you. They're getting the finals. They are so much better than the two teams that are playing tonight.
It seems
it's not. Yeah, it's not even. I'm telling you. I said it on the last show. I'm going to tell you again, and it's you can still get good odds. A lot of us locked it in at 8-1, 7.5-1. Now it's 6-1. Bet the Knicks right now 6-1 to win the finals because I said it last show. Indy took this OKC team to 7 games. This Knicks team is way better than that Indy team, and it ain't going to be plus 600 when it gets to the finals. And the Spurs have a puncher's chance if they get there to beat the Thunder. And if the Spurs pull it off, what is it going to be? Spurs minus 130, Knicks plus one, or Spurs 140, Knicks 110? That's probably the line.
Could be.
So bet the Knicks now. I'm telling you, the best bet on the board.
I got them 8.5 to 1 when we were talking about it a couple weeks ago. But
Great,
I would say
great
this
bet.
too. When I logged on, I didn't have my normal Casper look, and now the hit squad back there has got lights on. But so I flipped on the TV, I hit guide, I went to sports, and I had 2 choices. I had Cleveland, Detroit, and I had Minnesota versus Colorado. and I didn't even look at the score. I just said, you know what? Colorado's been fun to watch, and Minnesota had a crazy game the other night that I watched. It's mid-second period. I turned it on with 18 minutes to go. It was 3-0. I put a couple bucks down on Minnesota. On the Avalanche to cover plus 2.5 and be over 7.5. Like, I think that's a good move, but it's just a fun game to watch. It's faster. Yeah. Like, I have faith that Minnesota's up 3-0. They were down 3-1 in the series. Like, that is a fun game. But if you go turn on an NBA game and it's, let's call it 80-60, what are the real chances that anyone's coming back from that? I know it happens from time to time, but 3-0 like
you're not wrong. In the regular season, it happened more, but in the playoffs, the better team usually holds on to that lead.
Wouldn't shock me if Colorado made a little charge at the end of the second period and made this interesting. So it's a good bet, I think. Well, anything else from an NBA betting standpoint, Jimmy, that you're targeting as we go forward, or are you just kind of sitting back waiting to see if the Spurs close it out and if whoever closes out this one?
Yeah, just wait to see what happens. I
should have phrased it this way. Is there any chance the Spurs don't close it out in your mind, or is that series over?
That series is over. Yeah, okay. I don't think they have anything for them. I think this, if you're going to bet conference winner, I think the Spurs plus 250 to win the Western Conference is a much better bet than OKC minus 275. The Spurs beat them up all season long, and they're playing really well right now. Right. Like, so if you want to make a play there, I see no value in taking. I know the Thunder look great in the playoffs. I get it, but the Spurs do too, and they beat them in the regular season, and they've had the OKC's had a much easier path to this point. They played Phoenix, and then they played the Lakers without Luka. Yeah,
quite honestly, if Wemby doesn't get ejected, the series is probably over in 5.
Yeah, most likely. If you're Minnesota, where do you go next? Because sure, DiVincenzo's out, and he's one of your starters, but he's not what you would think would be a core piece. I mean, he wouldn't be the difference maker to take him over the top. So if you're looking at an OKC team, you might not be able to get by now a Spurs team, unless Anthony Edwards just elevates his game even more next year. You've got to think about your next move if you're the Timberwolves.
I love their reactions. They're so funny when you can bet these futures in game. Colorado is now the second betting choice to win the Stanley Cup. They're still, like, if they lose tonight, they're still got 2 more shots to close them out. They're plus 170.
Is Carolina the favorite right now?
Carolina's a favorite to win the Cup. Carolina minus 245 to win the East. Worst bet on the board. Colorado still minus 180 to win the West. Minnesota. That's the play. If I'm telling you, if you're like me, who's got a lot tied into the Avs, and you want to make a little hedge, knowing that if it's 3-2, it goes back to Minnesota, and then anything can happen in Game 7, don't hedge out of the series. Just bet Minnesota 10-1 to win the West. It might fall to 7-1 if they win tonight. Bet that, because Minnesota's beating Vegas or the Ducks. I'll tell you that right fucking now. Vegas or the Ducks is not going to Stanley Cup Finals. It's Minnesota or Colorado. That I'll take a huge stand on. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I really would tell you that's the one I endorse. I don't think Vegas or the Ducks can compete with the Avs or the Wild.
You're right. Excuse me for a second, gentlemen.
Just a side note, the Colorado coach just took one to the face. A literal puck hit him right here, just now live.
It's rough.
He's still standing. Obviously a former player.
The good news for you is I know you're on a delay there in Maryland. You're going to be pretty happy in a few seconds.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I like the preview. That's fun. That's like lifting my spirits up after a very long day.
In case you're wondering what we're talking about, the lamp has been lit in Colorado. 3-1 now.
Funny.
All right.
Oh, wow.
When Jimmy comes back, he won't have much to add to this. I'll give a few picks out there that we haven't got to. It is getting to be one of my... Jimmy's going to roll his eyes and tell me how big of a degenerate I am, and that's fine. One of my favorite betting times of the year is we're getting to college baseball. It's coming down to the conference tournaments coming up, then the College World Series. Go ahead, Ryan.
Can I just get a second? It's so funny. Like, I know we all have our, like, verbal things, but this is not even a verbal thing you do. You have so many favorite times of the year. It's like,
yeah, true.
It's like every show, it's either next week or 2 weeks from now. It's never 6 months from now. Great betting week coming up. I just thought that was funny in the moment.
It's my betting calendar. I should say coming up next in my betting calendar is college baseball, because it's that time, and there's some good value out there. I think, like, we look at the champion. I don't think UCLA is tested enough. I don't think they won the College World Series at 6-1. Georgia Tech has been playing really, really well. They're intriguing at 6-1, but Anything can happen in baseball. So I don't love the top of the board as much. Auburn has really, really, really good pitching. I don't hate them at 11-1. If I go down the board a little bit, if they squeeze in, one of the preseason favorites, and they just didn't play well, was Arkansas. 55-1. Don't hate them if they get in. I don't hate Tennessee if they get in. 60-1. There's some value in this year's tournament. I would not play West Virginia, I don't think. Don't love A&M 11-1. I like Ole Miss 45-1. They got a shot. They're playing well. And then to make the College World Series. Oh, this is a good one. I'm gonna try to give out some value tonight. Jimmy, I was saying one of my favorite times, as you know, on the betting calendar is when we get to the College World Series time. I kind of like Coastal to make the College World Series. Finally, they never seem to just get over the hump. Plus 450. I also don't hate, and I think this is going to be a little bit of a longer shot. Where is Jimmy? Bring up odds to make the College World Series on DraftKings. You can kind of help me. Oh, there they are. I like Southern Miss too, plus 360. So I like plus 360 Southern Miss. I like East Carolina. And let me see if I can find anyone else way down the board that has like a really decent RPI for you. Let's see.
How many teams make the College World Series?
It's interesting you don't know that. It's 8. I want to give you a good one here. Let me see where Santa Barbara is. Where's Santa Barbara to make the big dance here?
Santa Barbara.
Not the big dance. I guess this would be the 7-1. Give me UC Santa Barbara 7-1 to make the College World Series is one of my longer plays. And then again, if you're gonna bet to win, I like Auburn 11-1 would probably be my top play. I think they have a real chance. I think they're definitely going to get there. They should host the regional and hopefully the super regional at home, so they should have home games. Go down the board a little bit. I like some of these SEC teams if they get in. Ole Miss, Arkansas. And if you want to go way, way, way down the board, take a flyer. Let's see. I think at this point they probably have to win the SEC tournament just to get in. But if you want to take a real big flyer, 120-1 LSU and Kentucky. But I don't know if they're even going to get in. They might have to win the College World. They might have to win the SEC tournament. Where is?
Isn't that the toughest tournament? Like by a lot.
Which one?
The SEC.
Is it the best?
Is the toughest to win?
Yeah, they're probably the toughest, followed by the Big 12.
What about ACC? Aren't they up there too?
Not anymore.
Duke, UNC, no.
They used to be. UNC's good. Georgia Tech's good. Then after that, they kind of fall off a little bit. I don't hate Jimmy. You know what? You take a flyer on Coastal 60-1. I'd love to see someone like Coastal take this down. Baseball, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying?
That's the great thing about baseball is like these odds are crazy long in some cases, but at the same point, anybody can win baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah,
baseball.
Anybody.
All right, Jimmy obviously doesn't care, so I'll wrap up my baseball.
I gotta tell you.
Talk. It's sad that you don't bet it. You might actually make some money for once. It's fine.
Greg, back to my last point. It's sad that neither one of us bet like 90% of the sports that you bet.
True. Yeah, that's true. I try to help you guys, but no one wants to listen. It's fine.
I had this dude I used to work with in my intern gig, let's say, and he came in one morning. It was like 6:45 a.m. and he had all these bets on overseas ping pong. And I'm like, "What are you doing, dude?" He's like, "Oh, I'm up like 400." I'm like, "Dollars? You're betting? You know these ping pong people?" I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, look, if you got an edge, you got to play it. All right, Jimmy. We're going to throw out Jimmy. He didn't know I was going to do this, but I'm throwing it to him first. Give us your picks for the PGA Championship. We got another major. I know you didn't think we were going to go this long without giving you, or end this show without giving you a pick. On the majors, Jimmy, who wins the PGA Championship?
I mean, I just go with people I like at this point. So I'm going Chris Gotterup.
It's funny.
Gotterup up and down, 62-1. I like it as a long shot. I'm always gonna bet Brooksy at 37-1. He's gonna make a comeback eventually. And at the top of the board, of the top, let's say, I think Cam Young's gonna break through at some point. So I
agree.
at the top of the board, that's the route that I would go.
It's hysterical. I swear, Ryan, we did not talk at all before this. He hit 2 of the 4 that I'm going to play to win. I'm not going to take any of the favorites. Even at 15 to 1, I don't think Cam Young, the value's there. But I got Koepka pretty much across the board. Win top 5, top 10, top 20. I got Goddard up, same thing. Win top 5, top 10, top 20. I got Ricky Fowler. Give me him across the board. And then this is the one I'm taking an absolute swing for the fences on, kind of like I did last year, Jimmy. I'm doing it again. I'm going to try to run it back here with a big one. Give me Harris English across the board. And those odds are huge. He's 120 to 1 just to win it. He is a phenomenal putter. He is in good form right now. He had a great run at the Masters. Give me Harris English here.
Little Harris English. All right. I don't hate it. I think, look, there's value down the board. I don't hate Bobby Mack at 70 to 1.
I can't trust him after his blow up at the Masters.
Yeah, you're probably right. Hovland at 60 to, Hovland's got to win one eventually, doesn't he?
I like other people ahead of him that haven't won.
Yeah, maybe. Ryan, your boy Justin Rose at 50 to 1. He's always there. I think I'd be more apt to go with a top 10 and just hammer him on it at plus 375.
I'm telling you, I think you throw a little pizza money on Harris English. 120 to 1. That's some value. I really think there's some value there. The next one, I think Ricky Fowler, everybody likes him. So the fact that he's 58 to 1 makes me a little mad. I would have rathered 80 to 1, but okay. I can live with 58 to 1. And if you have a boost, use a boost. Got her up, though, 62 to 1. Great value.
All right. Let's go got her up.
Sorry, somehow I was muted. I tried to say, can I get 2 in quick? Because Jimmy already gave his. But, I was going to say, I've been seeing Fleetwood a lot up there, but he's only 27 to 1, but I'd probably throw something on him. And Siwoo Kim's 55 to 1, man. I think there's some value there.
Yeah, those are good ones. I don't mind that at all. What, you have Siwoo at 55?
Yeah.
Let's see where he is. If you bet him at DraftKings, you get 63 to 1 right now. He's just under Goddard up.
I just looked a minute ago. It somehow updated. It's now 55. Sorry, I was looking through one.
You're FanDuel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, DraftKings has him 63, so if you have both accounts, bet him at DraftKings. I do have that one, yeah. All right, let's go real quick. We're going to end with 2 other sports here. We're first going to, Ryan, you're going to like this. Let's look at a little World Cup here. We're getting closer and closer. I'm getting more excited about it because we're starting to wrap up a little bit here with NHL, NBA playoffs. Pretty soon we're only going to have a game a night, so it's time to start getting excited about the World Cup and the futures. And I've already made a lot of parlays. So let's look at let's see what you think of. Who do you think gets the finals? Is there anyone that you're like, all right, I know that I feel confident making a bet this team gets the finals? Is there anyone there yet in your mind? Or do you not know? It's fine if you don't know it well enough.
It's that guy Mbappe is French, right?
Yes.
He's just a baller. That's where I'm going. I'm going France as a lock for the finals.
France makes the finals.
Yeah.
Jimmy, anything?
No, I can't even find the odds. Where are the odds on here?
You're going to kick World Cup, and then hit futures, and then hit team futures, and then you can go name the finalists to reach the final, semifinal, all the way.
I can't find.
Keep scrolling through.
Portugal got a little older, but they're a serious team. Spain's always good. And those 2 teams in particular really control the ball. When they get up 1-0, you are in a world of trouble, even if they score 5 minutes in, because they're going to play this horrible game of keep the ball, and it's very, very frustrating. You always got to think Brazil has 3,000 billion people, coming up every 4 years this is their whole life. Look at the ticket demands, and that drives teams. Messi's old, but you can never count him out. Like, you just can never. I don't know who they even have right now, to be honest with you. But again, it's a spirit thing, and they get a lot of great players too. They're going off at 8 to 1, which I think is a little. I don't know. If I can't think of watching a lot of EPL, if I can't think of the best forwards, I don't know. I don't know who they are, but that's a problem for me in my head. But still, they're pretty strong.
So I'm gonna play a few. I already have a few futures. I like To reach the final for me, I love the favorite. Normally, I don't play the favorite, but I do think Spain is good. I also like England quite a bit. And then from a value standpoint, where you can name the 2 finalists, I am going to take a shot, and I'm going to go. Let me see where they are. They should be right around. Where are you guys? I'm going to go Argentina and England, 35-1 for a little value.
I think 2 other teams I think about are Germany, who's not really listed in the top 6 or 7. I mean, they always have just a great system coming and feeding them. And then the Netherlands are my small team. Years ago when I lived abroad, there was this guy with this hair that was like 15 inches long, and I don't even know how he headed the ball, but I loved watching him, so I always put a little money on them.
Jimmy, give me a little World Cup. What's your feeling?
I got nothing. What's Brazil's odds?
To do what?
I think they're 12.
To win? To reach the final? To reach the semi? What are you looking for?
Reach the finals.
To reach the final, Brazil.
Probably 3-1.
Plus 360.
Yeah.
4th choice on the board.
I'm going to take Brazil.
It's always
some high level analysis.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's just like Brazil's always good. They're always good. Yeah. It doesn't matter who the star is.
What's the US of A right now to make the finals?
-6.
To reach the finals,
plus
billion
10,000.
Yeah.
USA to reach the 18-1.
Yeah.
Listen, they do have a couple players, but Pulisic's getting old, and I can't think of the other players. I can see a couple faces, but they're just not as deep as some of those other countries. I mean, look, we've the world has talked about it. The athletes in this country that are higher level, soccer is not up there in the top 3 or 4. It's just not. And they end up somewhere else. You know, imagine some of these players we talk about in football, like, you know, that could be shortstops, or look at the cross players between that, you know, or basketball players. Or we talked about, who is it? Undertaker we were talking about. I mean, he played Division I basketball. You know, they all go play a different.
That might have been the Deuce. He might have been the Division 2, but he was a basketball player nonetheless. He was a good basketball player.
Callaway. But anyway,
yeah, I think if Allen Iverson would have chose soccer, he would have been very good at it.
Yeah, of course. But he was an unbelievable quarterback in high school. He was like off the charts.
Yeah,
like
he was. Yeah,
you know,
he was good at everything.
Yeah, I mean, you have those people that make choices, and the top, let's call it whatever the top 1%ers of athletes are, right? The 10% that are the best are going to pick the sport that they want to do and go with it, and it's not soccer. You know what I mean?
Yep, I'm with you. Yeah, I don't know if Texas Wesleyan is D1. You'd have to look that up. That's where he went for after he transferred his first time.
Okay, good. I thought
first school he went to.
Stats. You're doing stats.
I couldn't remember where it was. I knew it was Texas. I just couldn't remember where. The first school he went to, the basketball program folded. Okay. And I think that was a D2. I'm
not suggesting he was unbelievable, by the way. I was just suggesting, like, all right, like he's 7 feet tall. Like, he has options, you know?
Right. All right. Write this down. If it comes in, you can all lick me. And I'm going to bet this. I'm putting it in. But this is my prediction for the World Cup. I'm telling you, it's a terrible bet, so don't bet it. I'm going to try to hit 75% of the quarterfinals. And this is what I'm putting in. Spain, England, France, Argentina, and here's where we're going to get a little funny. The US of A and Croatia.
No, you're 100% right, except for USA.
170-1.
I'm like Jimmy. I'm a jingoist, man. I will not support putting money on the USA to make. You said semis, right?
Quarters. If I bet 6 teams to make the semis in a parlay, that'd be pretty bad.
No, good point. Again, too sober, distracted, etc. Watching this game, by the way, which is great. I don't know, man. I just can't. The USA, every time it seems like they have a chance and they just fucking blow it somehow. And it's a variety of ways. Their goalkeeping has tended to be pretty good, but they usually make some sort of defensive mistake, and they usually don't have 2 elite, like world-class frontmen.
I said it on the last show. I'm going to say it again. I for some reason, I have a feeling on home soil we'll make a little bit of noise this year. I think we'll lose in the quarterfinals. I think we're going to get to the quarterfinals this year.
Like Jimmy said with the hockey, I'm all for the USA. I'm rooting for them. I'm not putting my money there because I don't want to be involved in it.
Because, like, again, here's the thing. I just want to get the most current information I can for you. It's not like we are fucking terrible. If you look at FIFA right now, we're number 16 in the world, meaning we would have to win one more game than expected to make the quarterfinals, right? It's on home soil. I think we bow out in the quarterfinals. We have to see the bracket, obviously. I always say that because you never know who you're going to face in the quarterfinals. So maybe we can make a semi. Who knows, right? But let's see how we do in group stage. We got a good draw. Let's see how we do in the group stage. I think they get to the round of 8. I think they get to the quarterfinals and probably lose. I really do think Croatia 4-1 is a great bet to get to the quarterfinals.
Oh, Croatia's fantastic. There's nothing wrong with Croatia. They played great last World Cup. But
I think it was 2 world. I think you're thinking 8 years ago, Ryan.
Was it? It could be.
Yeah, well, I think they made the semifinals 8 years ago.
Okay, you could very much be right.
When you yelled at me for not working and watching the World Cup and betting on it, well, I was supposed to be working. 8 years ago, Ryan was boss. I know. I don't care who's listening. It's all true. It was absolutely happening.
Yeah. But regardless, they're always ranked between 13th and 18th. Always. Every year you can look. It doesn't matter if it's a World Cup year or not. You can look. They're always between 13th and 18th. There's a rare time when they move up to 10, but that's just for a minute. They just do not have as much depth. That's the problem. And depth everywhere. It doesn't matter if one guy's a little sore, if one guy has, soccer's a game where you're not guaranteed to score every time. There's a couple people that are that elite. What are there, 5 in the world right now? Probably, but on the whole, it's not a guarantee. Like if you're a very, very good player, you score every 3rd, 4th game. So if you just don't happen to score and there's not someone behind you as good enough who's also has the same chance to score, your odds just go down overall. That's what soccer is. And that's why it's great and why a lot of Americans hate it because there's no instant rewards. But man, watching some of those plays, and everybody talks about flopping in basketball, which some of it's gotten ridiculous. It's gotten a little better lately, but the flopping in soccer is because they're exhausted. They're running, 5.5 miles, and some of them are ridiculous and this old gentlemanly thing. But on the whole, those guys are tremendous athletes. And when you start getting down that depth chart, it makes a bigger difference in soccer than in other sports.
My only contribution to this is the flopping in professional soccer is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's because the refs entertain it, though. And that's the problem. And you're 100% right in a way. But it's because they're allowed to do it and it's part of the game. And the game is better because those guys get to relax a little bit every once in a while. And at times, if you're a fan, it's very freaking irritating or you got money on it. But at the same point, those guys that is a serious workout. It's one thing playing softball on a cold day. That's horrible. But you can play soccer all day in 25 degrees and be fine, because you're just running the whole time.
All right. Can you guess how we're going to end? Hey, if you've been listening, we're going to end with some NFL stuff. I normally get into futures. We'll do that next time. But since these lines dropped and we have some games to talk about, I'm just curious your first thoughts. First game of the year. I don't know why this is Thursday yet. That's what it is. All right. Rams 2.5 to the Niners in Australia.
I'm going to take the Niners.
Getting the points. I'll lay the 2.5 with my pleasure to lay the 2.5. Ryan, anything?
No.
He's
Thanks
muted.
for playing, Ryan.
Normally I mute him, but he's muted himself tonight, everybody. Unmute yourself.
I'll repeat. I actually don't have a plan on that one. I haven't looked at
So you wasted our time twice, Ryan.
I know. It happens every week. I got to put one in.
It's okay.
It's my quota.
It's okay.
But I like Stafford, and, that's who I would bet initially. But I haven't looked at any moves at all. I saw it in Jimmy lost his tight end, which is sad. And I'm sure it's going to come up at some point if it hasn't already.
Oh, no. You lost your tight end?
Joku's gone, yeah.
I thought you meant, thank God. I thought you meant the good tight end because I've drafted him already a bunch of times.
Sorry.
Harold
I was like, Fanning's out? What happened and what did I miss? Because I got a bunch, Jimmy, I got a bunch of shares. I think he's one of the best in the league already.
He's very good.
Yeah, the other guy made a great run, but he can, kick rocks. Fanning's
tight
great.
ends, until they matter, they really don't matter. They're a good outlet, but they've got to be one of those top 5 guys to really make a huge difference, in my opinion.
This, to me, is a great sign from what me and Jimmy have been saying since, Jimmy? February, March? September 13th, our Sunday night game, which is becoming a tradition for some reason. We always have the Cowboys-Giants now, it seems like, on a Sunday or Monday night to kick off the season. The Giants at home are only plus 2.5 and plus 110. I think that is a phenomenal sign for us, Jimmy, back in the Giants.
I agree.
I unload the house on the Giants. They're going to win this game.
They're going to win. I concur.
That is such a difficult one because I so hate the Cowboys. But I have to go with them. I think that's going to be one of the surprise games. I think they're going to lose to some real crappy teams throughout the year, and they're going to blow a horrible one to miss the first round of the the round of the playoffs. But I think they're going to win that game easy.
Do you have a notepad on your desk? Do me a favor. Write down October 10th, 2026. Apologize to Greg and Jimmy about the Giants. I can't believe they're 4-2. Just write that down for us.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. I haven't looked at the schedule, but I just think that's one of those games. Look, it's early season. The Cowboys almost always start pretty good. They give us all this confidence, and then booyah, everything bad happens. Everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's off the field stuff. It's contract stuff. It's Dak's hurt stuff. And I love Dak. I do really like Dak. It's just anything. You never know what's going on with them.
This next game upsets me. Our first Monday night game of the year is going to be Chiefs-Broncos at whatever we call it. I'm just going to call it Arrowhead. I don't know what they call it these days. Chiefs are minus 2.5. It's going to go to 3, maybe 3.5 soon. I hate myself because I'm going to have to start changing my tune on the Chiefs because they're starting to add pieces and they're starting to look a little bit better on offense. And if Mahomes is healthy, lay the 2.5 all day. Unfortunately, everyone, this is going to be a playoff team because they're adding pieces and they're going to be, if Mahomes is healthy, they're going to be very good on offense. Jimmy, what say you?
I agree. I think Denver looked really good last year. They've got a great defense. Bo Nix should, he'll be back. It wasn't a knee, it was the broken bone. He'll be ready to go. But they won a lot of games last year they shouldn't have won or were close.
Denver's going to be the definition of 9-8 because they're going to have a great defense and be hard to beat at home.
Mm-hmm.
And on the road, they're going to get slaughtered.
I would take Kansas City on that one.
You with us? Unfortunately, Ryan, I wish we were all in Denver, but who do you see?
It's difficult, but I think you got to go Denver there.
All right. The next one they posted, this is a good one. Our second Thursday night game. Sorry, I don't know how they have this already, but this must have leaked. Bills at home host the Lions. Billy Goats -3.
I'm going to take the Lions.
Ooh.
I think the Bills win a tight game, last minute thing. So I'll take the Lions getting 3.
So you're going to go on the rare numbers of 1 or 2 hitting.
Look, it happens.
All right. I'm going to take the Bills.
Me too.
Right, let me see if there's any other really, really good ones that jump out. I want to see if they posted. All right. This one to me is crazy already. Bet it now. If you like to invest your funds and let them sit there for a while, one of the international games I told you about, Houston giving 1.5 to the Jags in London. Take Houston.
I mean, if the quarterback can figure out how to play football at all, they should win the game.
All right. I love this because I know Ryan didn't look. So we have another leaked game, must be. So I got a good one to end the show on. Ryan, I know you didn't look because Ryan wouldn't look ahead. I know he wouldn't. What do you think that game overseas in Germany is? Sunday, November 15th, Patriots-Lions.
I think that it is, and I'm staring at the hockey.
Son of a bitch. I think I'm leaving for Disney that day. Well, at least I'll have something to watch on the JetBlue. But go ahead.
Well, don't fly Spirit. They're not very spirited anymore.
I'll be unloading on, I'll tell you in a second.
Hold on. I'm thinking -9.5 Seahawks.
Okay. It's not even close to the question I asked, but
we'll
ask it again. We're having a rough show. Lions, Patriots in Germany, so the Seahawks cannot be favored.
Good point. I got a bee problem in this way. I got a bunny problem this way. I got a kill zone now. I got all kinds of shit going on. Now I've had a drink. All right, ask the question again, people.
In Germany, Patriots, Lions. What did you think the line would be?
Line's gonna be in what week is that?
I can tell you it's not Seahawks 9.
Yeah, good point. What week is that?
That is Sunday, November 15th, so probably around week 10.
I think that by that time it's going to be Patriots -2.
Well, what do you think it is now? Because there's a line right now that I'm staring at.
I would say it's Patriots +6.
+6?
Yeah. I
Jimmy,
really
They get better.
I
What do
think
you think it
people are
is?
crapping on the Patriots. I think they're horrible. I think they think they're horrible, and I think it's going to be a season where we come back. That's my logic on those two things.
I think right now it's probably Patriots minus 2.5.
Lions minus 1.5. Unload on them. Unload on the Lions now because they'll be given 4.5 by the time we get there.
The fucking Vrabels.
All right.
Lions.
The Thanksgiving game is posted. Rams at home giving 3.5 to the Pack Attack. This is where you give a pick.
Going Rams.
I hate the hook.
I hate the hook too. I like the Packers here.
Yeah, I'm going with Packers. I don't like the hook.
We have a leak. We have a leak because they posted a Thanksgiving Day game. I don't know how they know because the schedule's not out yet. It's supposed to come out tomorrow. But DraftKings has a game up for Thursday, November 20th. Cowboys at home, obviously, Thanksgiving Day, giving 1.5 to the Eagles. What a game, by the way, if this is true, which it must be because why would DraftKings know?
The odds aren't up, but I've confirmed that, it seems like.
So, who do you like here? I like the boys.
Eagles.
I would go with the boys. But here's the problem. I wouldn't bet this one now because the Eagles could come out and be a team that ends up being -6 by the time we get to this game, and they could be just falling apart because the Eagles seem very fragile.
Let me fucking phrase it to you this way. What if you had to bet it right now? Who would you take? So you can give the people.
I would take the Cowboys.
All right, me too. It's Thanksgiving Day. It's at home. Ryan's got bee problems. He's got a bunny. He's got people to kill.
That was the funny. No, I'm here. I'm listening.
I'm glad you joined the second half of the show. You added some comedy. We appreciate you.
Sorry for my ignorance, people. A lot of things going on today. Very long things.
Jimmy, close us out. Final words, and it better be the Knicks win the East. But go ahead.
Knicks win the East. Mets have tied the game. Maybe this is the game they go deep in. They win a close one. It turns the tides. The Cavs aren't dead yet. They've tied it up now. They're within 4. With a lot of game to go. We've got an exciting time. Good talk. Good night. Thanks, Ryan, for joining late. See you next week.
Brian, what do you got?
I'm going to throw some good juju on my buddy's teams there and hope that the Knicks win big and that poor Greg doesn't have to suffer another summer of the Red Sox not getting where they need to get to. And maybe they make some moves. I'm all for it, and I'm hopeful for you guys. So besides that, I really need the Avs or would like the Avs to score a couple more goals tonight and, maybe the Wild wins too. So see you next week.
We appreciate that. I would tell you the best parlay you could ever make right now is the no Red Sox and Mets playoffs. It's just me, but
it was just positive vibe.
I appreciate it. We appreciate it. My final words are, I think the Avs, I could be dead wrong, but I'm going to take a stand. Hot take, Avs come back, win tonight 4-3 in overtime, close the series out. They move on. They win the cup. I think the Knicks win the East in 5, maybe 6 because of a little bit of rust, and whoever wins the West is going to get all they want from the Knicks, so bet them plus 650 right now. Best value bet on the board. We'll see you next week.